Hey, what is up guys? So today we're going to be talking about what to do if you can't afford the deck you want to play in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, first off, I understand that sometimes certain formats call for a certain deck. Like, you basically have to play one of these three decks, or sometimes it's even one deck. An excellent example that I think a lot of you guys will relate to was back in the Dragon Ruler format. That format was basically Spellbooks and Dragon Rulers. Dragon Rulers was the most popular version out of those two, but pretty much if you did not play either one of those decks, you would completely get wrecked. There was really no way around that format. Occasionally you'd win with something else, but for the most part, certain formats, there's only one deck that is really competitive. Now, maybe you're not a competitive player, you just want to play a certain deck that you just simply can't afford. Now, I'll put both of these links down below in the description box. But what you can do, if you want to, there's two online applications that I think are the best, which are Devpro as well as using Dueling Network. Dueling Network will be closer to real life, but you can download these applications. They're completely free, and you have all access to all the cards at the start. It's not like one of those games where you actually buy on like your Nintendo DS or PSP or your PS Vita for that one person that actually owns a PS Vita. But you don't have to actually unlock all the cards. You don't have to go through the story mode over and over and play the same things that you've been doing over and over, which I really like that they've done with Devpro, YGO Pro. You have access to everything. You like actually unlock certain like sleeves in the Dueling Network application, which I really think is cool. So both these applications are relatively easy to learn how to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! On. I'll put a link down below in the description box. It'll basically give you a walkthrough tutorial of like, what everything does in the actual application. So if you are an Android user or even an iOS, you can you can root it, or what do they call it, jailbreak it on the iPhone. You can actually get these on your actual phone, and it'll be pretty awesome just to have Yu-Gi-Oh! On the go. And you can also play online and play against AIs. There's puzzles in Devpro, which is pretty cool. I really do like Devpro over Dueling Network, but that's just my personal preference. Also, what you can do is I noticed sometimes you want to play a certain deck, but sometimes you can try out other decks as well. But I have this video already online of how to build a Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection from scratch, so that can help improve your Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection. Therefore, you can trade, and then you can hopefully get the deck that you want. You can kind of slowly build up to it, and it's always more satisfying for me. Back when I used to have to do this, when you'd have to, you start with something, and then you keep on trading for other things, and then that way you're not actually buying new Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. A lot of times the older stuff is worth less than the newer stuff. That's just how the game is, because supply and demand anyways. And then more people just generally like to play the newer stuff anyways. But like I said, I have a video on how to build up your Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection from scratch, and that'll basically help you out, and that way you can trade essentially for the deck that you want. Also, I can recommend you guys to check out other videos that I do that are like, type in budget on my channel. Like, if you use the search feature, you can actually type in budget, and you'll see a lot of different budget decks. Now, this one over here was from the Light Sword Structure deck. We're only using 3 copies of the Structure deck, so I think that's relatively affordable. I mean, the Structure deck, we're going for $5 from a lot of different websites because of Black Friday. It might still even be on sale, but even like $30 if you have to buy it at full retail, it's still relatively inexpensive. $30 for a deck that can actually do a lot of things in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So my suggestion also is to, try other decks out. Maybe you only really want to play this deck because you love the artwork. Hey, look into other decks. Maybe you can find something that you like in other decks. Like Lightsworn has a lot of really cool looking cards. Like Judgment Dragon looks very cool. We have Raiden. There's a lot of cool looking cards in the deck also. So open your options up. Unless, of course, like I mentioned before, I understand certain formats, like the Dragon Ruler format. That was a very expensive deck, and Spellbooks was also a very expensive deck. Another thing that you can do is be friends with vendors at different places. I know sometimes it's kind of hard, but sometimes vendors also do play the game. So maybe if you happen to play against some people, just ask them, what do you do? Like, if you're having just a small little conversation, sometimes maybe they go, oh, I vend Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. Or maybe they'll have a bunch of cards in their binder, or if you're friends with them, you can ask to borrow their cards. That's a really good way to actually play a deck that you can't afford, but someone else has it. Maybe one of your friends has the deck that you really want to play, but he's not going to be playing it at a tournament, and you'd be like, what, can I use your deck? I'll let you I'll buy you lunch or something. If you don't know the guy, too well, maybe you can say, I'll let you hold on to a certain amount of money, or you'd be like, hey, I'll let you hold on to my Xbox. And maybe if you know him a little more personally, or you can say here, you can hold on to my Nintendo DS or something like that. That way they know that you're going to give back, their deck. So try to give them collateral, I guess is what I'm trying to say, if you don't know them that well. Obviously, if they're your friends, then you shouldn't have a problem just saying, hey, can I just borrow some cards or a certain deck that they're not using, and maybe some cards are the binder so you can actually build whatever the heck you want to play. But yeah, like I said, guys, the best way to actually play or duel with a deck that you want, and if you don't have it, is just to play online. But like I said, if you want to actually build up your collection and you want that deck physically in real life, the best way is just to build up your collection, then kind of trade for the cards that you actually want. And I have a video of how to actually build up your collection, but everything will be down below in that description box. And like I said, guys, search up for some budget decks. There's a lot of people that upload deck profiles. I do it on occasion, and basically it's usually using like 3 of the structure decks, or we're just using a bunch of cards that are common and stuff like that. Sometimes like I said, you know, you can borrow them from your friends. Maybe go to your friend's house and be like, hey, can I look through your commons? Maybe they have a bunch of commons. Maybe you can build a deck out of, you know, basically a bunch of commons. I mean, Gladiator Beasts, well, I mean, they do have cards that are like foils, but for the most part, you can build, I think Glads can come all common. I think Chariot comes common in some pack. But yeah, I mean, you just build up your collection, or just borrow the cards if you can't physically just shell out, you know, the several $100s at certain times, which I understand Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be an expensive game. But anyways, guys, good luck, and I hope you are able to build your decks. If you guys have any other suggestions or thoughts on this, let me know in the comment section below. But have a great day, guys. Asian Ice out.